Hi, my name's Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. Today I've got to do some washing up and I thought I would make a video while I'm washing up and talk to you about why I no longer take erotic photos, or the real reason why I stopped taking erotic photos. When I say taking, I mean as the model. Yeah, this year it's been about 10 years since I created my blog, venusohara.org. And even before that, I've been an erotic model since 2005. That's a long time, so that's over 14 years. Wow! And at first I think I had all this energy to express myself in photographs, and since then I think the illusion has, yeah, there's a lot of things that have happened that have made me less inclined to take photos. Remember years ago, I've been a writer for many years, I always used to have to take photos that would accompany my text, and that's no longer the case. Now I'm just taking photos of sex toys, etc. for my reviews, but of myself getting ready for a photo session, that's not really something I do anymore, and there are many reasons behind that. And let me think of the first reason. I'm going to just get some plates ready. I think okay, so the first reason why I stopped taking erotic photos is that at first, 10 years ago, I think there weren't many selfies around back then, and also mobile phones were not as sophisticated as they are now. So back then I always relied on a professional photographer to take photos of me. Or even back then I remember Flickr was very popular, and so there were a lot of photographers around, and photographer sometimes meant camera owner. So not all photographers were really professional photographers, and some professional photographers were just not professional. So unfortunately I did encounter a lot of unprofessional photographers who took advantage of me in many ways. For example, one I caught selling my photos without telling me. I always had that fear back in my mind, what's happening to these photos. Others who didn't send me the photos for a long time, and then some that were just, let's say, they thought the photo session was going to end a different way, let's say. Yeah, some photographers who were quite dodgy, and others were really professional. I'm not going to say they were all bad, because that's not true. That I had some amazing photographers as well, and some very respectful ones. So, and I loved that. I loved especially being in a situation of, let's say, me being naked or half naked with someone who was able to look at me as an artistic object and create a good photo rather than seeing me as a sexual prospect. That was really cool. But some people did try and cross the line, unfortunately. And yeah, no really, I don't have any horror stories, fortunately, but there were definitely times that I felt uncomfortable. Yes, that's one reason, dodgy photographers. And fortunately over time, the technology to take selfies improved over and over again, so I was able to create my own photos and have them instantaneously and have complete control over my image. So for the maybe latest few years, I've been in control of my own images. But then other things happened as well that made me want to take less selfies. I think when I moved into this apartment especially, I remember it was October 2017 and I was in total selfie mode still back then, but it was, this is a penthouse apartment, so it was so cold. I can't even explain to you how cold it was that winter, and I just moved and spent a lot of money to get into this apartment. I was always a little bit paranoid about using money on the heater and stuff. I didn't have any furniture for 2 months, so at first I was just kind of in a blanket all the time, so the process of taking photos would have been incredibly uncomfortable for me. So it gradually became something that I wasn't really having fun with anymore. It just became a chore, because I did have some obligations to fulfill. I did have some photos to take that required some partial nudity, and that was just very uncomfortable. And only because of the temperature. Obviously with myself it was all great, but of course I wanted to take good photos, etc. And it's I have actually been taking more and more care of my body over the years. So I didn't get to a point where I just stopped looking after myself. I actually take more and more care of myself now. I've been going to the gym for 3 years. I eat organic, high raw vegan diet, so I'm really passionate about food. And yeah, so walking and lots of body pump and meditation and yoga sometimes as well. So I'm very passionate about taking care of my body, and I take a lot more care of my body now compared to 10 years ago or 8 years ago when I was taking a lot more photos. But also the main thing, another thing that's been quite significant, is that I've gone through an ego death. Yeah, and that's been a process. It wasn't just at one day to the next. It was a gradual death. And by ego death I mean that, let's say years ago I kind of wanted the attention through my work. I wanted the attention for myself, even if I was taking photos, etc. Maybe for validation, whatever. There was always a message behind it. For example, I've always had unretouched photos, and I've wanted to portray myself in the most natural way possible, because we're in a world of fakery, cosmetic surgery, and I've had none of that. I'm completely natural, and I really wanted to express myself in a natural way that would hopefully empower other people as well. We don't really see natural images. Oops. What's the battery? The memory was full. So what was I saying? Yeah, ego death, ego death. So my way of expressing my message now has completely changed. I'm still using my body as a canvas, but my way of using it or expressing it is very different. So now I'm very focused on healthy eating. I've never done a diet in my life. I've never counted calories. I eat abundant quantities of high raw organic vegan food, and I'm influencing a lot of people in my life all around me to go more plant-based, and it's just really amazing to see how other people thrive from adding more plants in their diet. And also I want to be a good image for the natural way of living without doing the Botox or the filler route, because I think it's quite shocking what we see in the media, etc. So I just want to be an example of healthy living, really, and that's what I'm using my body for. And yeah, so I think that's the objective. It's no longer about trying to look sexy, it's about trying to look healthy and hopefully empower others. Anyway, so there you have the real reasons why I no longer take erotic photos. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Washing up time.